Hey, so I had my first appointment with my new psychiatrist yesterday, and it actually went pretty well, as you might be able to tell from the title. So I'm excited to talk about that a little bit. I did have a small panic attack when I got there. As it turns out, their office was on the side of a building through a small doorway, and there were a bunch of people around. And yeah, so finding that was not exactly fun, but anyway, I got in there and the appointment started on time, which was an immediate improvement compared to appointments I've had with other doctors. And of course, the appointment itself was not fun, especially since it was the first or the intake appointment, and had to talk about a lot of things that weren't fun. But I got it done with, and I did really appreciate that the doctor was good about listening to what I was saying rather than thinking she already knew what I was going to say and just presuming and questioning what I thought about myself, which are unfortunately things I've had other doctors do. But this doctor was pretty good about that, so I appreciated that. And I got started on two new medications, and they've already actually surprisingly been decently helpful. So I wanted to talk a bit about that. Um, we'll save the best for last. So the first one I'll mention is Mirtazapine, which is supposed to help with depression in long term. Probably need to give it at least 6 weeks to see if that's going to do anything. But short term, it can also help with sleep. So it can be prescribed to people with either sleep issues or depression, but also if you're dealing with both, like me. So I took one last night, and actually, it helped me sleep quite a bit. It took about 30 minutes to kick in, and then I didn't wake up for quite a few hours. And when I did start waking up, I was able to go back to sleep. So that was really helpful. And uh, it can make you a bit drowsy when you're first waking up. It's hard to tell for me whether that's the case or not. I think that it was, but I'm generally pretty drowsy most of the day because I don't sleep very well. This time I did, and I was still drowsy. So it's a little hard to say for sure, but that's a side effect that can happen and that can also stop happening over time. So we'll see about that. Another side effect that it can have is an increase of appetite, and it can be prescribed specifically for that purpose, at least in animals. And it's hard to say for sure if it's a placebo effect or not, but it does seem like it is increasing my appetite. I usually get hungry at around 2 p.m. after waking up pretty early, and today I woke up at about 8:30 and I was already very hungry, which, yeah, so seems like it's increasing my appetite. Doesn't matter that much. I'm at a fine weight, so it shouldn't be a problem or anything, but worth keeping in mind. So the other medication that I started that's actually been most helpful is called Propranolol, which is a bit of a pain in the ass to pronounce, but it can be prescribed to lower blood pressure, but it can also be prescribed as immediate physical relief from anxiety. So basically, panic symptoms, sweating, headaches, chest pain, that sort of stuff. Um, and so, of course, that's what I'm using it for. And it can be prescribed to be used specifically for performance anxiety or for social anxiety. And so, in my case, I can take it 3 times a day at a smaller dose. Um, and supposedly it takes about 30 to 60 minutes to work, and then up to a few hours for some people, and then it lasts 3 to 4 hours. In my experience, the effects it has start after about 30 minutes or over the course of about 30 minutes, and then it lasts 3 hours, and then it tapers off over about 1 hour. Um, so it doesn't completely remove my physical anxiety symptoms, but it does greatly limit them. And when we were talking about this before I started it, I was not sure how much that was actually going to help because obviously I know that I have physical symptoms all the time, but I thought the main thing was, mental struggles. And obviously that's very important, but I was surprised how much better it makes me feel. Um, I can very much feel when it starts and when it stops working. And yeah, I mean, just sitting around here all day, I have passive anxiety symptoms like constant chest pain and stuff, just from the expectation that there's something to be anxious about and that I don't like where my life's going or whatever. And if I'm having intrusive thoughts, like I've mentioned, that makes me feel really mentally anxious once they're over, but also physically sick, basically. And I mean, this is helping with all of that a whole lot. And I even went and took a walk in my neighborhood this morning, and obviously still avoiding people, still don't really want to talk to anybody, but physically, I felt so much better while doing it. And yeah, so I mean, it's been really nice. Obviously, it's hard to say for sure. Long term, like, is this somehow going to just help me be able to socially function? Probably not completely. It might be worth trying to increase the dose. It might be worth trying other things in the future. But for now, it's making me feel a whole lot better, and I'm really happy about that. Other things to think about with this med are, since it is a blood pressure med, if you already have decent blood pressure or on the low side, lowering it further might cause side effects like dizziness and poor balance. I have not had any of that, but I also suspect that I have high blood pressure since both of my parents do, and I have a bit of a salt sensitivity, so I haven't actually checked it, but I probably do anyway. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Just that I started those 2 medications. I like the doctor pretty decently, and overall, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that went for the time being. So that's about it for this video. I should be making videos a bit more regularly again now, and hopefully a bit more focused on specific topics about AvPD stuff rather than just updates on myself. Yeah, but I think that's about it for now, so thanks guys, I'll see you later.